in our OpenHPI course about confidential communication in the internet, now we have a closer look to hybrid encryption protocols. Remember from our first week that the hybrid encryption consists in the idea that we combine the symmetric encryption methods that can be perfectly used for long messages with the asymmetric encryption methods that fit very well for short information. So the asymmetric method we will use for communicating the session key, and then for communicating the message we will use a symmetric method. And this is how the basic hybrid encryption protocol looks like. We have Alice and Bob, and first they agree on a symmetric crypto system which they later want to use to encrypt the messages they are sending. And then Alice generates a secret session key exactly for that symmetric crypto system, which she will later use for encrypting the messages. But how to bring this secret key to Bob, how to transmit it? It cannot be done in clear text because everyone in the internet can access this key and can later on decrypt the messages Alice is sending to Bob. So here exactly the asymmetric crypto system is used, and Alice and Bob have to agree on an asymmetric crypto system with the idea to use this asymmetric crypto system to exchange the session key. And now Alice takes the public key of Bob and decrypts and encrypts the session key with the public key of Bob. And the asymmetric crypto system, they agreed. And now Alice encrypts the actual message she wants to send to Bob with the symmetric crypto system and the session key. And then both messages she sent to Bob. First, she sends the encrypted session key, which was encrypted with the asymmetrical system to Bob. And second, she sends the encrypted message itself, which was encrypted with a symmetrical system and the session key. And Bob can now decrypt first the session key by using his private key. He knows they agreed on an asymmetric crypto system. He knows Alice has encrypted the session key with his private key, and now with his public key, and now his private key is exactly the one with which this can be decrypted. And now Bob has in hand the session key. It was securely transmitted over the internet, and he can decrypt the cybertext with his description function of the symmetric crypto system and the session key. And now they can communicate to each other. Of course, what is the advantage of this hybrid encryption method? The biggest advantage is it provides a secure way to exchange the secret key. This was a big the manco for all the symmetric procedures. So with this, using the asymmetric encryption to encrypt the session key solves the key exchange problem for symmetric encryptions. And then another advantage is now the advantage comes in from the high efficiency of the symmetric encryption. The long message, this can be decrypted with a symmetric system with a session key. So the very resource demanding asymmetric encryption methods are only applied to the short session key. And then the message itself is efficiently encrypted with the symmetric encryption method and the key. There is another advantage of this hybrid encryption protocols, and this advantage consists in the possibility from time to change the secret session key that's used to encrypt the messages. So the validity period of the session key can be limited. And such limitation make it difficult for the attacker which use cryptoanalytic methods to break the encryption. So these are the advantages of such an hybrid approach. And of course there are problems too. And a problem we have to discuss in more detail is that we need arrangements to ensure that Alice is using the correct public key of Bob. These arrangements are called public key infrastructure. We will later on discuss this topic in more detail. And the problem here is that when Mallory succeeds to hand over his public key to Alice as the public key of Bob, and Alice is using this key, then Mallory is the only one who can get access to this secret key and later on can decrypt all the messages Alice is sending. So these arrangements are needed to use this asymmetric cryptographic algorithms in a secure way. And when we look how we use this in internet, indeed, these hybrid encryption protocols are the typical way for communication, for confidential communication in the internet. Then there, the asymmetric RSA method is combined for the key exchange, is combined with the symmetric methods, the triple DES or IDEA or AES, to encrypt the message itself.